Lunchbox is made possible by grants and donations from the Norman Arts Council, the Oklahoma Arts Council, the Kirkpatrick Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts, Armstrong Bank, David Slemons, Friends of Namron, The Depot, and the Show Starts Now Studios.
What do you remember about school lunch?
In junior high school, Fridays were sticky bun days, and the lunch ladies were real moms. They came in because they loved it.
Oh, there was this girl who would always bring a ball of cookie dough wrapped in aluminum foil. Karen.
It was a big change moving from a country school to a city school system. The food in the country school, it tasted good. It was homemade. I have no good memories of middle school at all, and no memories of the cafeteria, period. Take it back, I do remember I punched someone in the cafeteria.
No one ever has to see this. So, this is for Mrs. Wilson and Mrs. Elliott and William. So, Bertie Shoemaker, Lunchbox Notes, September 9th, 1974. 7th grade lunch was easy. Pryor Creek was a small town. I had friends. Some days I took the bus with Angela and Tommy and Deborah and Connie and maybe Colleen to the cafeteria at the brand new high school. Most days I walked with William to the lunchbox and bought Fritos to go with my bologna sandwich. He would always tease me in this fake German accent like Mr. Koenig's.
This is how you make the birdie bologna sandwich on the rainbow white bread. You will require the Oscar Mayer bologna. I know this Oscar Mayer guy. He's full of baloney. So, take 2 slices, Und then take one slice of the Kraft American cheese. Und squirt on it ein Schnickelfritzen of the mustard. Then take the Fritos. Und you will smooshing them between the bolognese and the cheeses. Ah. Ah, yeah. It's disgusting. You eat it. Oh, and Mrs. Shoemaker, please try to remember to take the plastic wrapper off the cheese. And we talked. Did you see how small Mrs. Dunlop's car is? 2 boys, 9th graders, picked it up, turned it around completely. Well, really, it was 4 boys, and they just barely lifted it off the ground. Neon green Fiat with that hair? And she's like 7 feet tall. How's she gonna fit in it? And we talked about our substitute teacher for English class. Ms. La France. Oh, save me. She's so La Francie. I'll be so glad when Mrs. Elliot finally pops out that baby. That was then. This is now. That was Pryor Creek. This is a real life city with city buses that the driver gets mad at me if I accidentally put in the wrong amount of change. And there is no lunchbox. And no William to walk there with. And even if there was, we would not be allowed to go there at lunchtime. Oh, do my socks match? Who's gonna want to sit with me? Are my shoes stupid? Who will like me? Oh, can you see my butt in this stupid skirt my mom made me that looks like a skirt someone's mom made them? What if I never make any friends? Overwhelmed by the crowd, by the sound, the noise, the strange smells of food and backpacks in my face, bodies too close, books too heavy to carry, locker doors slamming, and that line that started in the hallway and moved so slow with no one to talk to. So I listened. I couldn't help it. They were all talking to each other, talking about each other, about what they were going to have for lunch and what crappy thing their mom packed for them, or talking about MASH and Mork and Mindy, or who they were going to pound during gym class when Mr. Wilcox wasn't looking, or even if he was, that fruity old fart. He touches everybody. Hey, are you listening to us? To our private conversations? Yeah, mind your own business, geekus. Freakenstein. Ugh, butt out. Oh, I'm sorry you can't. Your butt's too big. Hey, look, you can see her butt. Yeah. Overwhelmed.
I stand in the lunch line and I sniff. Is that chili? Did they make it with liver? Do the hot dogs come with it, or are they extra? No spinach, please. No, I said no spit. Never mind. Are those beets? I can't find my lunch money. Where's my lunch money? I can't find my other quarter. Maybe I can call my mom and ask her to bring some lunch money and something else to wear. Oh, God. But what if she brings those bell bottoms with the 3 snaps on the side from the 6th grade? Oh, God. Or that Christmas quilted maxi skirt. Or my camp shorts. Oh, God. Or, oh, God, the serape. What the? Spider! Ah! No!
The National School Lunch Act, passed in 1946, established school lunch programs across the nation. The purpose of the program was to safeguard the health and well-being of the nation's children and to encourage the consumption of agricultural abundance.
Are we going? Oh, I am? Okay. No. Good morning, students, teachers, and staff. Welcome back. It's Monday, January 6, 2020. Brand new year, brand new semester. I hope your winter break was productive and enjoyable. Welcome back. Ordinarily, Sterling Williams and Denali Crozier-Rabine would be doing this, but... Sterling broke it. Sterling is recovering from a skiing accident. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? And do we know where Denali is? Anyone? What? Oh. Well, those things happen. We wish Denali all the best, and I'm sure she'll be back with us very soon. Meanwhile, Dr. Powell to the rescue. And now, here's everything you normals need to know. Read, 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 crunch, crunch, crunch. It's not too late to beat Standard High in the Tacos, Tacos, Tacos reading challenge. Come by the library. You know where that is, right? Or if you can manage it, go to the library website and get your Tacos, Tacos, Taco tick-off card or app and start reading and crunching. For every 5 tomes you tick off, stop by one of our Tacos convenient locations. 6, I believe, within a square mile of our school alone. And get your free Megaton Taco Jr. tax not included. A tome, BTW, is a book. Go Normals, beat standards. All students must wear their ID badges at all times during school hours, even when you go off campus for lunch. Especially when you go off campus for lunch. You think I don't know? Dr. Bowell knows all, hears all. Wear your badges. Jobs, jobs, jobs. The city of Midpoint will be hosting a career fair on Tuesday, April 7th in the Commons during lunch period. Yes, I know, that's 3 months away, and I'll be telling you about it every day until then. If you're interested in attending, please see Ms. Applegate in the Language Arts Center. If you're not interested in attending, why not? I mean, everybody's got to work, right? Prom. Prom is just around the corner and... Oh. This year's theme will be Romeo and Juliet forever. You seniors, you guys. Mr. Keene will have a table set up in the Commons right outside the caf where you can pre-register your non-normal prom guests. Information about prom tickets will be available after spring break. This year's prom is sponsored by Chicken! The chicken that's so great it needs 4 E's and 2 exclamation points. Hey, guess what? Oh, the flu season has arrived. Please help prevent the spread of the flu by taking the following precautions. Wash your hands throughout the day with soap and water and dry them on a paper towel and throw the paper towel in the trash can, not on the floor. Cover your cough this way. Not this way. If you are unable to wash your hands, use the hand sanitizer you were issued in your home rooms. If you have not received your bottle, or if you've lost it already, please see Mr. Keene in the gym, or on the soccer field, or in the driver's ed room, the mechanical room, the special needs room, the caf, the commons, the community garden, or after school at the buses, and get a replacement. If you have a fever of 100.4 or higher, stay home. For God's sakes, please stay. Stay home until you are without a fever of 100.4 for 24 hours without the use of medication. Let's stay well, normals. And finally, seniors! Please come to the main office at your earliest convenience to verify your name for your diploma. Your actual name. We don't want a repeat of what happened last year, now do we? And that's everything you normals need to know. Remember, be smart, stay safe, and have a great... What? Today's menu? Do I have to do that? No. Well, do I have it? Where is it? Oh. This week's Global Gourmet brings you the heritage and heat of Asian fusion. All right. Crispy tots with creamy sriracha sauce. Bonus points to anyone who could tell me which part of that is Asian and which part is fusion. Kung Pao chicken pizza, peanut free on request, thank God. Hey, and it looks like you can get the Kung Pao chicken several different ways. On a bagel, in a salad, on a chipotle pepper jack cheese roll. Hey, it's Monday, so Corn dogs! Now there's a classic. Let's see, deli, grill, noodles, so many sauces. Pizza, besides the Kung Pao chicken one. A lot of choices there at the caf. Good luck with that. Remember, be smart, be safe, and have a great day. No, we're done, Serena. I mean, Selena. Sorry.
On Monday, the Oklahoma State Board of Education held an emergency meeting to authorize the closure of all Oklahoma schools due to COVID-19. The order for all accredited public schools to cease operations passed unanimously. Department officials say schools would be closed starting March 17th until April 6th. However, schools can remain closed as long as needed to protect children, and the situation will be reevaluated closer to April 6th.
Hey campers! It's March 26, 2020. Day 4 of homework in the time of cholera. Do you know where your English teacher is? She's right here. I hope you know how much I miss you. Yeah, I know that's not cool. Neither is campers. And I'm not cool in general. I hope nobody finds out you watch this. Ugh. But I am not going to talk to you about homework right now. In fact, I'm not even talking to you whippersnappers. I am, instead, here to issue a challenge, not to you, but to my colleagues. Yes, my fellow old farts. I know you're out there. Children, you may leave the room. Are they gone? Good. Nosy little Parkers with their big eyes and embarrassing questions, always wanting to know things. Grown-ups. Let's do lunch. Seriously. Well, not heart attack serious, but all this technology and these social platforms, and all we can do with it is the same old grind? Nah. You show me yours, and I'll show you mine. In fact, teachers, administrators, lunch ladies, parents, and yes, if you must, students of midpoint, normals and standards. What's in your lunchbox or bag? What used to be in it or on it? Barbie? John Wayne? Strawberry shortcake? What did you have for lunch today? What's your favorite lunch at the caf? What can you not wait to dig into when we get back to school? And we will get back. That's very brown. Banana bread or compost?
What did you eat for lunch when you were a kid?
Oh, PB&J every day.
BHPBB. Butter, honey, peanut butter, both sides, and a banana in the middle.
In high school, I used my lunch money to buy 5 ice cream sandwiches every day. Until my sister found out and told my parents.
I ate the cafeteria meatloaf once and threw it up in class. Didn't eat meatloaf for a long time after that.
I'll see your compost banana and raise you a steaming cup of lentil stew. Hot, hot, hot. Full disclosure, though, I did not take my lunch with me to school when I was a kid. Now it's kind of a matter of self-preservation. Not that I'm virtuous, far from it. If I got started on a Chipotle Cajun shrimp and honey sriracha pizza. I'd never stop. I do remember playing games at the lunch table. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Paper footballs. The closest I ever got to organized sports. I was the pickiest eater, and there was nothing the cafeteria ladies made that I thought was any good, except the hot rolls. Oh, Miss V, I miss your hot rolls. Miss V, she ran the kitchen at Susan B. Anthony Elementary. I had a little crush on her. 15 years later, when I got my first teaching gig at Susan B., she was still there. But they wouldn't let her make the hot rolls anymore. Oh, Miss V, are you out there? Let my cry come unto thee. Hide not thy hot rolls from me. Oh, for heaven's sake. She's probably on Facebook.
Lunch duty for middle school teachers sometimes includes hall duty. Kids are not supposed to be in the halls, but they always are. So it is your job to escort them to the office. But you get to know some kids that you wouldn't see otherwise.
Okay. Bertie Shoemaker. Lunchbox notes. March 11th, 1977. Forgot my lunch, so I tried to sneak into the library. I could have done the cafeteria, but the food has been so nasty gross this semester. How can such nice lunch ladies make such terrible food? Mrs. Roth caught me. You need to eat! I told her I wasn't hungry and I had a book report to finish for English. I even told her I'm worried about the money, which was not true, and didn't work anyway. She gave me 50 cents and walked me to the cafeteria and stood there while I went through the stupid line. I had to eat something just to get her to stop talking. It was spaghetti today, so I lived. And now I owe Mrs. Roth 50 cents. Now, I did make friends. We even formed a club. We called ourselves the Lemmings. We would invite people by putting strange objects on their desks, like a slowpoke and a jar of mentholatum rub, or a can of bean with bacon soup and a pair of toenail clippers. We even had, oh my God, we even had this ridiculous initiation that involved Mickey Mouse ears, a long cloak, and a bullwhip. We had to whip shrubbery with the bullwhip. God. No one must ever see this. We'd all pile into Carrie's old Ford Fairlane and scream off to the bagelry. They didn't have bagels in Pryor Creek back then. Oh my God. Oh my God.
the Oklahoma State Department of Education has received approval from the U.S. Department of Agriculture on 2 requested waivers allowing meal service to continue during school closures. Meals will be available at no cost to low-income children and are not required to be served in a group setting to avoid possible exposure to COVID-19.
Hey, Carl, am I doing this right? Can't be this easy.
The Eisenhower experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little hippie school, essentially a Montessori school. We were sitting cross-legged on the floor, singing folk songs. We were lucky. We were lucky to be there.
Well, she's still there. Well, I mean, nobody's there right now except to hand out meals, but she's still a lunch lady. The lunch lady at Susan B. Now, she's busy, and she says Zoom makes her head hurt. I emailed her some questions. She's probably too busy to answer, but she's still there, you know? It makes me feel better somehow.
Super friendly lunch ladies. Oh, Carl, our janitor, long, tall, and thin, kind of scary looking. He didn't talk much, but he'd grin or nod, and you knew it was cool. You know, you were cool.
Well, she used to try to bribe me when I was 10 with a free grilled cheese sandwich if I finished everything on my tray. And, you know, I love a good grilled cheese sandwich, but
Lunch announcements every morning in elementary school?
Mm-hmm.
There was no choice. It was just to tell you what you're going to be getting.
Yeah.
But the food was homemade on a tray, always dessert, ice cream in little styrofoam pots with those little wooden tongue depressors.
Some days I'd just buy milk, or I'd find a way to like buy or trade for everyone else's dessert. I often didn't eat lunch, saved up my money. My mom found my stash of money one day, and she was very upset. I'd often just go to the library and read during lunchtime. I would get hungry, but it would pass.
Middle school. There were 2 lines, one for real food, one for junk food. Me, junk food line, always. But we were allowed to leave campus, though. We'd go to Albertsons or Hardee's for fries. My mom helped to get the campus closed down for a little while. There were complaints that some girls were getting drunk in an apartment complex across the street.
When I could drive, things changed.
High school.
Mm-hmm.
I got $20 a week. J-Pats, big burgers, shredded lettuce and cheese. The Sooner Sweet Shop, 2 video games, and an entire wall of candy cigarettes.
I had access to a car, and I had a girlfriend, and my after-lunch class was drama, so I could just blow that right the hell off. So we drive to Burger King, you know, the Whopper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, remember the seaweed burgers at McDonald's? McLean Burger? It was made with kelp, seaweed. There's kelp in a lot of our food.
Rainy days. After lunch, we go into the gym. Boombox. Joan Jett! My first time. I had a boyfriend with a mohawk, And he was my introduction to punk rock. Black Flag, Dead Kennedys.
Sometimes I gave up lunches to talk with one of my friend's dads. He really listened.
I drew this for a comic book that Carrie and I were going to write back in probably 1978. Oh, gosh. Honey Crisp, a bold and daring young artist who takes a big bite out of danger, and danger bites back. Oh, save me. Ooh. Captain XYZ. That's spelled XYZ. The strong and silent type. He's putting an end to crime, but he and Honeycrisp are just getting started. Ooh, 2 exclamation points. Ah, yes. The diabolical Dr. Strange food, a victim of his own organic chemistry experiments. Ah, and of course, the wily Professor Cardamom, a.k.a. the Lunch Lady. She may seem warm, but trust her at your peril. Oh my gosh. Huh. I was good.
I've got your questions here. Introduce yourself, even though everyone knows you. Vicky Bakewright, head cook at Susan B. Anthony. Oh, first, there's no microwaves in my school kitchen. I have 2 big convection ovens, and when they changed the kitchens over, we got an extra fridge and a freezer, too. I've been working in school cafeterias 27 years. Started out part-time as a mom. Started as the bread lady, baking the rolls. And then I moved up to salads and then to meats and casseroles. We serve 185 kids at lunch, 85 kids at breakfast. We start on the littles at 10:40, and everybody gets 30 minutes, and then we serve the oldest, the 5th graders, at 12:50. The principal eats in our cafeteria every day. Batch cooking, that's the secret. Don't just cook it all at once and leave it all on the steam table the whole time. I have 2 people working with me. It's been fewer than that. See, I have a problem with people who don't have the same work ethic as I do. Some people, being late isn't a problem. I've had people apply for this job and tell me I can't cook. I had one who could sweep but did not know how to mop. I've had to teach people how to do the job. And it's moms who work mostly still. Well, it's the perfect job. You're at work while they're at school, and you can be home when they're home. Oh, kids don't work in the cafeteria. There's too many chances for an accident. The 4th graders do clean the tables after their lunch. The girls do it pretty fair. Most of the boys just twirl the rag around.
What do I remember about school lunch? My sophomore year, my life changed. My friend had moved to a new school, and I was wondering what to do for lunch. Oh, pizza shuttle. Sold slices for 25 cents in the gym. There was this girl. She was new. I walked over, and for the first time in my life, I was charming and vibrant and trying to impress her. It worked. I could feel it working. Later, of course, we broke up, and I wore black and listened to The Cure for the rest of the year.
In fiscal year 2018, the National School Lunch Program provided low-cost or free lunches to 29.7 million children daily.
Good morning, students, teachers, and staff, parents, guardians, younger siblings. Whatever your brothers and sisters have told you about me, just assume it's true. That'll save us a lot of time and trouble next year. And I hope you've been washing your hands. I also hope that you parents and guardians have been taking advantage of our weekly meal pickup for up to 4 children per vehicle, distributed in car lines of our school sites on Mondays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you have more than 4 children, pre-order the meals and pick them up at the Midpoint Public School Central Kitchen between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Main Street, catty corner from the Spiffy Lube and Power Wash, and right next door to Tacos, Tacos, Tacos. Now, remember, these meals are available to any student 18 years of age or younger. Application and proof of income are not required. No child left behind. For reals. Our own Ms. Applegate has issued an intriguing challenge. Let's do lunch. I understand quite a few people are taking her up on this. I knew Natalie was going to be trouble when I hired her. And she told me I was full of crap about To Kill a Mockingbird. But she taught it anyway. And I have not been able to think about Atticus Finch in quite the same way ever since. So, I'll bite. The National School Lunch Program. The National School Lunch Program requires 5 food components, each with daily and weekly minimums, including fruit, vegetables, grains, meat or meat alternatives, in other words, protein, and fluid milk. There are 5 vegetable subgroups: dark green, red orange, beans, peas, legumes, starchy, and other. I've never been quite sure what other means. Possibly ketchup or sriracha sauce. My lunch today meets all those requirements, and then some. Let's see what she's made for me today, huh? Tacos de lengua. And my wife's very special pear and prune salsa. Let's see. Strawberry and banana kebabs. And do not judge me. Allergies.
One time, the school called my mom and told her that my brother was in trouble. He's being sneaky with his peaches. He would hide them in his milk carton.
I went to grade school in New Mexico, so that's where my school lunch experience started. I remember it was very strict. You had to eat 7 bites of everything or no recess. Food was good, though. I remember the enchiladas and the cinnamon rolls. Not the same at home, though. My dad had no patience for, I don't like that. And there were some things I didn't like. My step-granddad was Greek, and he used to make fish head stew. Oh, I remember one afternoon I was coming home from school, and my aunt had laid out an entire cow's tongue, prepping it for a recipe. Didn't want any part of that. We ate rabbit. I liked rabbit. Rabbit's different now than it was then. Wild versus farmed. Wild had better flavor. Then we moved here when I was 13. It was a real culture shock. Coming from small town ranchers to a big university town.
In grade school, all I can remember are the sugar cookies about this big. When you're a kid, you don't judge food. Sugar cookies and milk, they just work.
No, don't worry. I wash my hands. I have few memories of lunch at grade school. I did have a lunchbox though, most likely Davy Crockett. I remember begging my mom not to make tuna fish sandwiches because, I got tongue sandwiches instead. And an apple. But I suspect Ms. Natalie is looking for more than just memories of food. Social memories. I went to Catholic school. We had a cross-eyed cook. She was great. I remember those big yeasty dinner rolls. Sorry. Social memories. She also drove the bus. I never ate anything I didn't want to. I remember ordering a hamburger in a famous seafood restaurant. My dad would tolerate my food intolerances at home, but my mom, not so much. You see, my parents grew up during the Depression, and my dad never wanted his kids or himself to have to eat anything that he had to eat too much of when he was growing up. You know, beans, rice, pasta. My mom, on the other hand, she would always say, "You're gonna sit there until you finish everything on that plate, mister." We went round and round. Right out of college, I taught in a small rural community in central Oklahoma. They had an open school policy for lunch. And lunch could be 2 hours for some kids. Same for the teachers if they planned it right. And still, kids would have wrecks at lunchtime trying to get back to school, and sometimes some of them didn't make it back. It was...
In high school in El Paso, there were 2 lunch lines. One for regular food, and one where the Mexican lunch ladies made tacos and what they called topatillas, little hats. I tried to order topatillas at a real Mexican restaurant one time, only to discover they'd made it up.
I love making scratch New Mexican food at home. It's not Tex-Mex. Oh, the kids' favorite food at school is chicken nuggets with mashed potatoes and gravy, hands down. Yeah. Well, school food has changed over the years, but I tell people, so has fast food. And I have asked why we can't start cooking everything from scratch. And you might think the answer would be cost, but what they told me was safety. Food safety. There is no raw food in my kitchen, in my school kitchen. And that's the same in every fast food kitchen, too. Most of them.
I taught up in the city too, high school biology at a fine arts and college preparatory academy. That was a hoot. Good students. Lots of negative talk in the teacher's lounge. I ate in my room at lunch with a colleague and invited some of the students to eat there too, you know, the ones who just couldn't handle the lunchroom if they couldn't go home. I think I once witnessed a drug deal during lunch in my room, looking out my back door at the house across the street from the parking lot. I wasn't the only teacher avoiding the cafeteria. Look, most places you only get 30 minutes for lunch. But even if it's an hour, especially if it's an hour, why would you want to spend it with kids who behave like animals? And why would those kids want to spend that precious time with the very people who think they behave like animals? I get it. And the new commons, the new calf with all the bells and whistles and choices, doesn't make them behave better. That's not what they want. That's what adults think they should want. School lunch doesn't matter anymore. That's what we're teaching them. Education doesn't matter. Culture, social life, aesthetics, skills, service, community. If school lunch doesn't matter, then none of those matter. Let me show you this. Must have been something I ate.
So, we are agreed then, Captain.
The doctor is not to be trusted.
Not as far as I could throw Well, I can throw most things pretty far, so let's just say we're agreed.
What about
The lunch lady.
I'll take care of Professor Cardamom.
If you could only have one thing for lunch every day, what would it be?
I would have Qdoba every day. But Thai food sounds good right now.
I would have pizza.
Oh no. Wait. Fries?
Barbecue chicken pizza and lemonade.
Hello. Do you know who helped create the National School Lunch Program in the 1940s? Teachers, home economic teachers, black and white. Teachers who knew from experience that poor nutrition helps maintain the cycle of poverty. Do you know who took that idea and turned it into the actual National School Lunch Program? Politicians, Democrats and Republicans. Get that federal funding, boys, but keep the government's big fat nose out of how we spend it. The charts. The charts. Oh. The charts tells the story. These aren't just scribbles. These are students' voices. No one wants to hear children's voices, but translate them into a language bureaucrats can understand. Then we may have a chance to save the world. You and me, Kevin, Topher, Becky, Denali, and all your brave cohorts. What did you eat for lunch yesterday? An innocent question? Hardly. Baked potato, sandwich and milkshake, chips and salsa. Note the use of the ampersand instead of writing out the entire word. Why the need for brevity? Telling! Chicken tacos indeed. The next cell. Well, that is what we are talking about, my friends. Cells in every sense of the word. Buttery noodles. Yeah. Spicy chicken sandwich from you know where. Sparkling water. Grilled chicken. Pork chops. Just when I think we are finally getting into the meat of it again, sparkling water. Sparkling water. And there it is in parentheses. Staring at me, taunting me. Okay. Lemon flavored. You see where I'm going with these?
Cardamom here. I have little time. I am being watched. That cursedly handsome Captain X-Wise. But you know all about the dear Capitan, don't you? Honey Crisp? Oh, yes. I have peeled away your disguise, and I know you at your core. You have done your best, Miss Crisp, to worm the truth out of me. And so you know, Dr. Strangefood must be stopped. He thinks he is saving the world. But if he is allowed to continue his diabolical experiment, he will destroy it. He will destroy us all. But there's still time to stop him. I have a way. Here.
Oh, bread.
Oh, chips and queso, barbecue, chicken pizza, and Dr. Pepper.
If you could only have one thing for lunch every day, what would it be? Response. Oh, No response. Oh, Topher, 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 Topher. What is going on? Give up your secrets! 15 descriptors for chips und queso. Yummy, crunchy und salty, snuffable. A false trail! How do I know? Everyone loves Cheez-Its. Where do you usually eat lunch? Out back. No response. My house, Becky's house, Brahms home, here. I don't actually eat lunch, but I like to go out with my friends. Even the kids who choose not to eat lunch somewhere else. This must not continue. No village.
Oh, Miss Crisp, we had such hopes in the early days. And then the charts began. Oh, those cursed charts. In the beginning, they were a tool, only a way of measuring. What do the little buggers want? Why don't they like the fish sticks? Where the hell are they going when they cram themselves 6, 8, 10 in a Ford Fiesta hatchback and scream out of the parking lot like crap through a goose? The charts were meant to be a reference, but he's turned them into a sacred tome. He's mad now, utterly obsessed with the elixir. And the most frightening thing of all, he knows it will never work.
No. Chicken.
Sparkling water.
Ice cream? No. Sweet potato fries. No. Gummy bears.
Behold, a concentrated liquid essence that will transform the most heartless bureaucrat into a happy, drooling third grader. Planted in every vending machine, in every commissary, in every capital, cleverly nestled between the orange vanilla Coke Zero and the Mountain Dew Kickstart. I give you Dr. Elixir. Pop the top, and your olfactory bulb is immediately overwhelmed with the memories of cinnamon rolls, sticky bottom buns, hot buttery biscuits, and Google Hoft. Oh, no.
But there's still time, still hope. My research into aroma compound composition and its effects on the hippocampus. The supercinnabutterific nillifield elixir. I was reckless, yes, but I wasn't crazy. The recipe is missing a key ingredient. I didn't tell him everything. The best cooks never do. In time, he will discover what is missing and come looking for it. You must help me, Miss Crisp.
Professor Gadamer.
I know. Why trust me? Why believe me? I am as culpable as he. But you must understand. It smelled so good.
Cheez-Its.
I say close campus, but make lunch a good experience. I don't see why some people don't want to provide the same tasty, nutritious meal for everyone.
Hi, I'm Bertie. I'm Roberta Powell. Mrs. Powell. Dr. Powell is my husband. I just wanted to let you know that Dr. Powell is pretty sick. But I don't want you to jump to any conclusions, though. I just brought him here to get tested. It may be something else, you know. There are a couple of flus going around right now. Could be that. Dan, Dr. Powell has asthma, and he's allergic to just about everything. And he won't get rid of the cat. And there are like 6 different trees in our neighborhood that make his sinuses explode on a yearly basis. So, they won't let me, I can't go in there with him. And he wanted me to talk to you today about lunch. School lunches. And I told him I thought that was pretty funny because I just found my old, a big box of old stuff that I found in the garage while I was cleaning it out last week. Anyway, he wanted me to speak with you about the work I did as a child advocate for Unisystem Healthcare. See? He's trying to slip a career fair in on ya. Ha! He's tricky. So, I used to visit schools in 2004 as a child advocate. They didn't even have stoves. The food was crap. It was all prepackaged and microwavable and no fresh fruits or vegetables. And at the hospital where I worked at the time, the pediatricians told me that they were finding themselves treating more and more children with diabetes for the first time. Type 2 diabetes. So, we formed a coalition with an agenda a lot like the CDC's. Reinstate PE. Fix cafeteria food, more fresh fruits and veggies. Eliminate vending machines. Less screen time. And something else. I can't remember. Anyway, the how was talk. We talked to legislators. And in Oklahoma in 2004, that meant trying to convince conservative Republicans to do good rather than just talk about Jesus. So, I approached it as a far-reaching economic good. Better nutrition leads to healthier kids, leads to smarter kids, leads to better test scores, and a better prepared workforce. Trying to change the environment for kids. Some companies would make deals to fund athletic programs just to get better placement of their vending machines. Try changing that. Oh, the hue and cry. And not from the companies, from the parents and the coaches and everybody. We didn't even want to get rid of the vending machines. We just wanted to change what was in them. Extremely, incredibly difficult. Successes were things like, in the lunch line, changing the placement. We put the fresh fruits and vegetables first, and then the meat and potatoes. We called it making the healthy choice the easy choice. Is school lunch any better? Well, it's different. You know, Dan and I, Dr. Powell and I, we disagree on so much. But this is his whole reason for staying at normal. He's just trying to make things better for kids. Your kids. Or you. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know who watches these things. Trying to give you a better choice. A real choice. Well, when this is all over, I think you should talk with him. He's not just the guy that stands in the commons at lunchtime shaking his head. He's a good guy. Oh, it is 9:15 a.m., April 15th, 2020. Oh, it's tax day. Well, I will keep you informed.
Oh, and before I forget, our feeding program. I love our summer feeding program. I joined so many groups on Facebook just to get our numbers up. People come from all over. We get folks from Lakeview. Our kids eat for free. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, any adult eats for $3.25. I like to be able to keep up with the kids over the summer. Wonder how that'll work this year. Oh, I worked in the high schools for a while. Standard and normal, both. Oh, the high school kids, though, they don't have time to talk to you. And I understand. They keep them busy. Middle school kids, well, it's just a hard age. Grade school kids, though, they'll talk to you. They'll tell you about their day, ask you questions, tell you jokes, get to know you. Oh, Carl, if you get a chance, you need to talk to Dr. Powell down at Normal. Oh, but you're there already, so you know. He is something. No, he and Bertie come eat with us every summer. I think they make the rounds to every school, and he tells every one of us we are his favorite lunch lady. Lunch lady. Teachers do a good job prepping the kids to call us Miss So-and-so, Miss Karen, Miss Peggy, Miss V, but I tell people I'm gonna have lunch lady put on my tombstone. Well, they have to eat to learn. I think I have a very important job. Well, you come see me this summer, Carl. You be well.
When you think about it, all those 1950s programs that helped people, the government was really pretty progressive about school lunch. Up until Reagan decided ketchup was a vegetable.
I taught a special ed class at Susan B. Lunch was a bit of a war zone. You have to walk backward when you take a special ed class to the cafeteria. You have to keep an eye on everyone constantly. There's a din as you get closer to the lunchroom. You can feel it more than you can hear it. Out in the hall, all that tile, the chocolate milk smell. They push the chocolate milk. It's lower in fat. Oh, they used to have these shakes too. These weird shakes. You remember when everyone got so upset with McDonald's because their milkshakes didn't even have any real ice cream or milk in their milkshakes? You know, like that. I'd redirect the kids by trying to be silly. Oh, does this go in my ear? No. Oh. How about on my head? No. Oh, in my mouth. That's where it goes. There was there was this one girl who had trouble getting food in her mouth. She'd have it all over. The kids would already be picking on her, and then they'd laugh even more. So, I moved up in the ranks at Susan B. as a teacher with my daughter, my kid, Brett. I'm trying the pronouns. I'm learning. Brett made lunch and sold it in junior high school. The science teacher had this store, and he had kids, selling stuff. And so they made and sold sandwiches. And chips. And Twinkies and ding-dongs, I guess. To buy science room stuff, the kids, the money went into his science class. And maybe it's not the best idea, but You know, it wasn't the worst. It gave Brett a peer group. Her first boyfriend. There. It was like a junior lunch ladies club. Prom. Just around the corner. It will happen. One way or another.
I didn't use government subsidized lunches for my kids. When my son came along, we had more money. And earlier for my daughter, well, it was a point of pride. I wanted to provide for my kid.
I know how lucky I am to be able to say this. If Junie eats well at breakfast and dinner, then lunch is not a problem. She takes her lunch. She makes her lunch. And she has 20 minutes to eat it. The middle school cafeteria is a factory. Activities and mingling and sit-down games, finishing book reports and studying for tests, all crammed into that 20 minutes like it's normal. I can't wait to hear her take on the CAF in a few years. It can be really confusing for new students, the CAF. So many stations, so many choices. It's hard for them to figure out, where do I go? What can I have? Where do I pay? Sort of very open, very loud, sort of free-range grazing. I got to spend my junior year of high school in the Netherlands. So lucky. They put butter on your cheese sandwich there. I mean, that's not why I was lucky, but you'd be like, yes! We'd get 2 breaks, 30 minutes each, everybody all at once. You could eat in the classroom if you wanted. Most people brought their lunch. Some people brought oliebollen, oily balls. It's like a donut. Lots of sandwiches. My host mom would make my sandwiches, meat and cheese usually, but sometimes vlakken. Oh my God, vlakken. Bread with butter and vlakken. These big flakes of chocolate. It's really more for breakfast, but oh. I didn't eat in the cafeteria very much. It wasn't the language so much as not knowing what to order, not knowing the norms, fear of awkward encounters. A couple of times I ate my lunch in the bathroom. But sometimes we'd have a really long break, like if a class got canceled, and then I could ride my bike down to this little snack bar and get a vanilla milkshake and fries with mayo. Oh, I know people have fries with mayo here, but I'd never had it before. And Dutch mayo is different. It's smoother, creamier, not as sharp. Or sometimes I'd take the train to this big flower garden, the Keukenhof. I remember riding in the train with the window down and the wind in my hair, thinking, this is everything I have ever needed. This is beautiful. I want Junie to have that.
Oh. You can close campus, sure, but that won't make kids stay. Getting away at lunch it's American. It's who we are. It's more than that, though. It's human. We need that break from work, and School is work.
I've something in my pocket, it belongs across my face. I keep it very close at hand in the most convenient place. I'm sure you'll never guess it if you guess a long, long while. So I'll take it out and put it on. It's a great big great big lemming smile. So, I listened. I couldn't help it because everybody was talking to each other and they could see my butt. I could call my mom. But what if she wasn't home? What if I had to go through the rest of the day wearing one of those office ladies' sweaters tied around my waist? Oh crap, am I gonna start crying? Right here in the lunch line? Right now? Like a kindergartner? Like a baby? There's this girl named Anita. If you take out your lunch money beforehand and put it on your tray, just put your hand over it so nobody won't steal it. She's in Mrs. Wilson's English class with me at 10 o'clock, right before lunch. She makes fart sounds when Mrs. Wilson takes roll. Oh, you're gonna be sorry you got milk with chili. Milk and chili don't go together good. Mrs. Wilson is reading us The Outsider in class. And Anita thinks it's stupid when she gets choked up at the sad parts. You know, you don't have to worry. Nobody can really see your butt. She thinks MASH is boring and Mork is a homo. You know, you can come sit with me if you want.
First, I gotta go wash my hands.